Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll talk about what is a Google Tag Manager and why do we need it. So before we get into this, we just need to understand first what is a tag. A tag is a piece of code or a snippet of code. Mostly this is going to be a JavaScript or a GIF images, which are given by various third-party websites. So third-party websites, which will give you this tag, which we need to put on our websites specifically in order to collect data. So if we are running, let's say, ads or through different ads platforms like Google, Meta, Microsoft, LinkedIn, or let's say we are setting up Google Analytics on our website, all these platforms will provide us with a tag. And now we need to place these tags on our website so that this tag can help to collect data and that can be used for analyzing user experience and tracking purposes. So there can be various kinds of tags which we will have to set up on our website. So let's have a look at this. So there can be a Google tag, which we use for analytics, for Google Ads tracking, for conversions. There can also be a Facebook pixel setup or a pixel code, which is there, which needs to be pasted, which is used for tracking data for running Facebook ads. And similarly, there can be a Microsoft advertising tag as well, which we might put up when we are running Microsoft ads. So let's have a look at some live examples of how this will look like on a specific website. So let's say we're looking at New York Times as the newspaper. So different websites will have these tags implemented to collect user data for various reasons. So if we just go ahead and do a view page source on such kind of a website, we can identify these codes by searching for, let's say we're looking for, so you can see here on this page, we have this particular Google Tag Manager, which is highlighted over here. So this is the code which is coming up out here. In the same manner, if you look at any technology website, let's say we're looking at TechCrunch over here on this website, here as well, if you do a view page source, we can go to the page source and we can search for any search tag as well. So here as well, you can see there is a Google Tag Manager code showing up right here. So like this, various websites will have the code set up for tracking purposes. Another example can be, let's say we are looking at a sports website, and here as well, if we do a view page source, we will get to see the code in this particular manner. So you can see that there are a lot of websites which will have these codes implemented primarily for the purpose of tracking data of users, which is helpful to do a lot of analysis and for running ads as well. So now, just to understand what is a Google Tag Manager, so this is a tool created by Google or a platform which helps to manage multiple tags on a website in a much more efficient manner. So if I have a website where there are multiple tags are implemented, this tag manager can help us to manage them in a much more seamless and easier way. So what the Google Tag Manager helps you with is that it removes the need to put individual codes on the website. Rather than that, what we put on the website is just a Google Tag Manager container code. And now what we do is we have all the individual tags on our Google Tag Manager interface. So whatever changes or management we have to do, we do it on the Google Tag Manager interface, and that reflects in the on the website's page through the Google Tag Manager container. So this way, it becomes far more easier to deal with multiple codes for our websites. I hope this makes sense. You understand now what is this tool and how this basically works in efficiently managing multiple tags for our websites. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we wanted to see different Chrome plugins which we can use while working on Google Tag Manager. So there are different types of Chrome extensions which we can use for tracking and reporting purposes. So let's have a look at this. So the first one, so I made a document which I will share with you in the resources section of the course, so you can easily access it from there. So these are all the different types of Chrome plugins, guys. So the first one is Tag Assistant, Facebook Pixel Helper, Twitter Pixel Helper, and so on and so forth. These are all which we can easily use for different tracking and reporting purposes. So let's have a look at this. So the first one is going to be the Google Tag Assistant companion. So this is a Chrome extension which basically helps majorly the Google Tag Manager, which we are trying to learn over here in this course, is what you can access from this particular Chrome extension. So from here, this Tag Assistant really helps in managing multiple codes on the website. Okay, you can also see which codes are running over here, okay, and how you can debug as well. So all those things becomes easily done through Google platform. So this is one of the most extensively used tracking tool. The other one is going to be the Meta Pixel Helper. This is a tool which is used in case of meta ads. So if you're putting up planning to run meta ads and you want to track the code, the pixel which we have set up on the website for tracking conversions through meta ads. So then we can use this Meta Pixel Helper, which also does the same thing, wherein it tells us clearly whether the pixel has been placed properly on the page, on the website or not, or it is not loading. So we get the clear information with respect to meta ads tracking. The third one similarly can be used is Twitter Pixel Helper, which does the same job when we are running Twitter ads. Okay, and if you want to track conversions coming through Twitter ads, then this particular Chrome extension can be of great use. Similarly, we also have Microsoft Ads Chrome extension, which is a UET tag helper. This does the same thing, wherein when we are running Microsoft Ads and we want to track conversions coming from it, we can place the code, and then this particular Chrome extension can help us know whether the tag is working, firing properly or not. Is it tracking the data or not? That kind of information it will provide. So this is going to be from Microsoft Advertising. Now, apart from this, there's other Chrome extension, which is like a Tag Explorer. Now, Tag Explorer is basically this extension helps to see what all tags are there on the website. So like this, I can see what all different types of tags are there on my website. Okay, if I want to pause any particular tag, I can do it from here by removing the check button from here. Okay, so this way I can control and manage and see multiple tags which are there on the website, and I can work on them. So that's your Tag Explorer Chrome extension. Another one which we can use here is Analytics Debugger. Analytics Debugger extension is used when we have set up a Google Analytics code and we want to debug it, see if there are any errors with it. So, which we can see in this specific particular Chrome extension, which is going to give us all that information. And then we can make changes to it. Maybe we can pause the tag, okay, or edit the tag. All those things will be possible from this particular Chrome extension, majorly focusing on debugging Google Analytics tag. Other than that, we also have a GTM copy paste Chrome extension. This is useful when we want to copy the GTM code from one particular account to another. If you want to do so, when you are, let's say you are doing it for multiple clients, you're setting up GTM for multiple clients, and you need to use the same code with different clients, then this particular Chrome extension can be really useful, where you can simply copy the tag from one particular account and then move it to the other account. So that's your GTM copy paste Chrome extension. And then the last one is going to be AdSwerve Chrome extension, which is used primarily to, again, set up the Google GTM code on any website. We can do it from this. We can also analyze the data layers which are created in the GTM account. Okay, all those things which you can see out here through this particular Chrome extension also. So these are all the Chrome plugins or extensions which we can make use of. In this video, in this course, we are going to see some of them, how we can implement them, and eventually you should be able to use them effectively for your business and for your clients. I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand all these Chrome extensions or plugins for GTM and how we can make use of them. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can open a Google Tag Manager account. So for doing this, we're going to search for Google Tag Manager on Google, and we will see the first website out here, which you can click on, and this will bring us to the website out here. So it will ask you to log in with your Google account. So you provide your email ID and password, and you will reach on this particular page. So from here, we can go ahead and create a new account for our Google Tag Manager. So where we can provide certain details. So the first thing which you will have to provide out here is going to be the name of the account. So whatever is your company's name or your client's name, you can provide out here. So in this manner, I can provide the name, and then we can choose the country as well. Once you do that, then we have to do the container setup. Container is basically a storage space where we're going to store all the different tags which we will be pasting on the website. So this we also need to define out here. So we can give a container name. Now that can be our website's URL, which we can provide here. And we are doing to do this for the targeted platforms. So we are doing it, let's say, for web pages, iOS. So all these options will be open for us. So we will be doing a tag setup for all these platforms by default. Okay, so you can provide your website URL in this particular manner. So this is the website for which we are setting up the tag. And then we can select website majorly for which we want to do this, which is on desktop and mobile web pages. And then we can create. So this is the terms and conditions which we need to agree to, and we say accept to this, and then we can move forward from here, guys. Once you do this, now the account is getting created, which will then generate the code. So you can see now this is the code which needs to be pasted at the back end of our website. If in case once you create the account, this pop-up does not arise, okay, then on the home page of Google Tag Manager, you can just go to your GTM code particular label over here. If you click on it, that will bring you back to the page, and you can just copy from here, follow the instructions given out here, and paste it at the back end of every page of your website. I hope it makes sense. You understand now the complete process, the simple way of opening an account with Google Tag Manager. In the next video, we will see how we can paste this code at the back end of our website and activate the particular GTM code. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see the 5 different ways of installing the Google Tag Manager on different platforms. So the first one can be manual installation. So we'll see this in the coming videos, how we can install the GTM code which we got in the previous video manually on a website. That's one. The second is going to be WordPress. So on a WordPress website, how we can do the same job if our website or our client's website is built on WordPress. Then we are going to see how the GTM code can be implemented on a Shopify store website. Okay, how on a Shopify store this can be done very easily. And then similarly, we will see if a website is built out on Squarespace, how we can implement the GTM code on that. And then the last one is going to be the tag manager injector, which we were discussing earlier as well, which is AdSwerve, on through which we can use this tool to also get the GTM code implemented on any website. So let's have a look at these guys. In the coming videos, we'll see how these can be implemented on different websites through different platforms. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up the Google Tag Manager on a Wix website, a website which is built out on Wix. So let's have a look at this. So we saw in the previous video that once we get the particular GTM setup done, when we open the account with Google Tag Manager, we get a particular code in this particular manner, okay, where we can install this code on every page of the website. Right? So from here, what we require is only the GTM code ID, which is this one. Okay, so which we can copy from here, and now we can paste it at the back end of our Wix website. So let's have a look at this. So this is a Wix website which I have, okay, on which we are going to paste this code. So currently, if you see on this particular website, this website does not have any code right now. This Chrome extension helps us to check and test whether any website has any code on it or not. Okay, so right now what we see is that this does not have any code as such. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the GTM code on this website at the backend, for which we are going to go to the Wix dashboard. So this is the dashboard where we have to come, and here we can specifically go to the settings page, where we can go to marketing integrations, where we can integrate Google Tag Manager with the website. So here you can see Google Tag Manager option coming up. So you can connect over here and you can add the Google Tag Manager ID. The one which we copied in the beginning is what we are pasting out here, and we can save it. So now you can see it says Google Tag Manager has been connected to the site. So let's have a look at this. So when we go back to our website and we refresh the page once more, so now we should be seeing the Google Tag Manager, which shows over here with a green smiley. The same code is out here. So which means that this has been implemented successfully on the website. So this is how a Google Tag Manager code gets set up on a Wix website, guys. I hope this makes sense. You understand the complete process, how to do this for a Wix website specifically. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this video, we'll see how we can set up the Google Tag Manager for a WordPress website. So for this, we are going to go into, again, starting from the beginning, which is once we create the Google Tag Manager account, it will generate the code for us in this manner. So we're going to take the code, the ID, the GTM ID from here, and we copy this. And now we will go to our website again. So let's say this is the website which we have and the WordPress account which we have created. So in the WordPress, the easiest way to set up the GTM code is by adding a plugin. So you can go to plugins, where we can search for, let's say, Google Tag Manager. And it will give you a lot of options, which we can see out here. However, out of these, the best one and the simplest one to use would be a Google Tag Manager for WordPress by Thomas Geiger. So if you go to this one specifically, it will ask you to fill up the ID. Okay, you can fill up the ID, okay, over there, and just save it. Once you save it, it will activate on the website, and your Google Tag Manager code will be installed on the website. So this is how simple it is going to be to set up the GTM code on a WordPress website. We just need to install the right plugin, which is this one, Google GTM for WordPress, okay, by Thomas Geiger. And in that, it will ask you to paste the ID, the GTM ID. You just paste it and you can save it. In this manner, guys, we can set up our Google Tag Manager code on a WordPress website for ourselves or for our clients. I hope this makes sense. You understand this process. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up the Google Tag Manager on a Shopify website. So let's have a look at this. So to start off with, again, we'll go to the Google Tag Manager account, which we have created, and we'll get the code over here. So we'll have to paste both the codes on the Shopify website. So let's begin with the first one. So this is what we are going to copy. And now we can go to our Shopify store. So let's say this is the backend of the Shopify store. So we'll have to go to the online store, where we go to themes. So the themes will be the website theme. And now here we are going to go to the current theme which is being used, and we'll edit the code. So in edit the code, we are going to specifically look at theme.liquid section. And right here, after the meta tag, we are going to paste the code. So you can see the Google Tag Manager code has been pasted out here, and we can save this. So this is done. Now we'll go back again, and now we need to install the second code, which is this one. This needs to go after the body section of the code. So again, we are going to search for body section, for which you can do a Control F and you can look for body class. And now you can see right here after this, we are going to paste the second part. So here we have pasted the second part of the Google Tag Manager code, and we can save this. So this is the simple way by which we can paste both the codes on our Shopify website at the backend. And now this will reflect on our website, and we will be able to track our information, our conversions through Google Tag Manager on a Shopify store. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we are doing this for a Shopify store as well. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up a Google Tag Manager on a Squarespace website. So let's have a look at this. So we'll start the process first by going to our Google Tag Manager account, and we can get the code from here. So we'll have to paste both the codes on the Squarespace website. So we're going to copy the first code. And now we can go to our Squarespace website. Let's say this is the website. So we'll have to paste it as a custom code. So what's happening with Squarespace is you don't have a specific integration with Google Tag Manager through Squarespace. So we will have to add this like a custom code. So for doing that, we can come to the website editor page, and we can go to pages, where we can go to website tools. In website tools, we can go to code injection, where we are going to add these codes. So the first code which we have, we can put it in the header section in this particular manner. So you can see the Google Tag Manager code has been pasted here. And then the second code can go in the footer section. So we can put that in the footer as well. So this one specifically we can copy and now put it in the footer section. So this way we can add both the codes to our Squarespace website, and Google Tag Manager will get installed here, and it will start tracking all the details for us. I hope this makes sense. You understand this now, how we can add a GTM code for a Squarespace website. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can make use of a particular Chrome extension to install Google Tag Manager to any website. So what we are going to use is going to be the AdSwerve Chrome extension, which we had discussed in the previous videos as well. So let's have a look at this. So as we saw earlier also, the first thing is we log into our Google Tag Manager account, and we can come to the particular code part where we can copy the tag ID. And now what we can do is we can install this AdSwerve Data Layer Inspect Plus Chrome extension on our Chrome browser. So as you can see, this is now installed over here. So what we are going to do is we are going to install the Google Tag Manager code on our website, the same website wherein we don't have any code at this moment. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to that Chrome extension once we have installed it, and we can go to advanced options, where we can go to add functionality, where we're going to insert the GTM container. So this is where you can paste it. Plus, you will have to provide the website URL in the format in this manner. So now we have given the website as well, and we have given the GTM container, and we can save this. So once you save it and the page reloads, so now we can see the Google Tag Manager has been installed on the website very easily. So this is another very simple way, guys, by which a Google Tag Manager can be set up on any website with the help of this simple Chrome extension. I hope this makes sense. You understand the complete process, how to do this. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see the Google Tag Manager interface, and we'll understand how to use it. So once you log into your Google Tag Manager account, this is how the interface will look like. On the top left, you can see the logo and the name coming up over here, Tag Manager. And this is where your account's website URL will show up. Okay. And now you can see there are different tabs over here. The first one is Workspace. Workspace is a place where you're going to build out the container, where you're going to add the new tags which you want to place on your website. So all the workplace is going to be the section where you are building out the tags, managing the tags, all that happens. Now, Google also gives you by default 3 workplaces to work with. So you can use the other 2 as well. So you can have 3 different workspace which you can use simultaneously. Now, this can also be helpful when you're working with a team. So you can work on in your own workspace, which you have, and you have other people as well working on different workspaces. So that way, a lot of collaboration can happen. So this is the overview page, guys, where we can see all the information. So you will get to see the new tag, which we can set up over here. You can give a description of this tag, which tag are you planning to install? And in the workspace changes, you will see once we create the tag, they will get listed down out here. Okay, so let's look at the second option, which is tags. Tags are going to be pieces of code or snippet of code which we placed on our websites. Now, this can be a Google tag, it can be a pixel, metapixel, or it can be a Microsoft tag, different types of Google Analytics tags, which we are pasting on the website purely for tracking purposes, performance-related tracking and reporting purposes, we do that. So you will be creating those out here in this particular section. The second piece is going to be triggers. So triggers is when exactly do we want to fire the tag? Okay, so this is happening for an example. Let's say I'm creating a tag for an e-commerce brand like Amazon. So what we want is that the tag will be pasted on the thank you page of the website. So, and it will trigger only when a user lands on the thank you page. And that is what will be considered as a conversion or a sale. So triggers is where you're going to define when the tags will be fired. Okay, so here you can add the thank you page to it in case if you're doing it for conversions, and it will define it to the system that it needs to fire the tag only when a user lands on the thank you page. So that's going to be the triggers section for us. The other option is variables. In variables, you can define different types of variables which are Google specific, which are built-in variables, and then there can be a user-defined variables, which we can define. So these variables can help us to define different types of sections of the website. So here also they work like a container where we can define, so let's say a page URL variable, which we are defining, which is for a specific website landing page. So different variables can be built out here in this section, which will then be used in the tags, and we will be able to track specific information. The another option which we get here is folders. Folders are used for managing tags, triggers, and variables together in separate folders. You can put them in so that you can organize them in a much better manner. So this way, it becomes easier for us to manage multiple tags for a particular brand. And then comes templates. Templates are specifically community built tags and variables, and you can access this community as well, and you can use certain tags built out by these communities. Okay, so you can find a lot of pre-built tags and variables here if you search the gallery, and you can use them for various reasons. As you can see, this is for the tags in template, and you will have a gallery for the variables as well, which has been created, and you can use them for tracking purposes. Other than this, another important section of the interface is going to be preview and submit. So submit is where you're going to, once you create the tag, okay, you need to publish it so that it gets activated on the website. So this is where we publish and we submit it. Okay, once it is submitted, then the tag starts working on the website. So we can give some information about the tag as well, the version of it as well. So all that can be set up out here. The other information, the other segment is preview. Preview is where I can test the tag. Okay, so I can just do a test of the tag wherein live, it will take us to the website and it will show us whether the tag is getting fired or not. We can perform certain actions. This is like a testing of the tag which we are doing so that we can see the clear functionality of it and whether it is working properly or not. It's a very important segment, but most of the time you're going to spend in these where you're testing out different tags to check whether it's working properly or not. In addition to this, we also have versions over here. So in versions, you can see which version of the tag is working in the currently on the website. Okay, whether it's firing properly or not. So here you will see complete information given by Google, whether it is working or not. Okay, and how many tags, triggers did it fire? So that count will show up out here. And the last one is admin, where we can see the account settings details of the Google Tag Manager, which you can see here. You can add other users from the user management segment. You can do the same thing with the container as well, where you have multiple options given out here. You can add different users who can access the container. If in case you are not able to find the code which needs to go on the website, you can come to this option and you can go to install Google Tag Manager. And here again, you will get the options to take it from here. So these are all account settings which we can get over here. You can also export or import your containers. If you want to move your container to a different account, for those purposes, you can do this. So this is how the Tag Manager interface is going to look like for everyone. I hope this makes sense. You understand now all the features of this. If you want to also get the code quickly, then you can just click on the GTM ID showing on the top right corner in this manner, and the code will pop out in the middle of the screen. So these are all the features, guys, of the Google Tag Manager interface. I hope this makes sense. Thank you so much, guys, for being with me in this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see and talk about some of the Google Tag Manager best practices and considerations. So if you look at the Google Tag Manager, there are a lot of different, you can say, limitations or considerations you should have while using this tool. The first being the JavaScript-based tool it is. So this particular tool, it's limited to whatever you do within the browser window. Okay, so the GTM tool can only help you within the browser window, what we are working on it. If users have JavaScript disabled, then Google Tag Manager can't help and cannot help with its full functionality. So that is one kind of a limitation which you have with the tool out here. The other aspect of it is the exposing data. So this being a tool, it is more like a constraint. So wherein the tool itself will not have all your website's data itself. You will have to provide it. Okay, you will have to provide it maybe through a plugin which you add to your WordPress and through which you get data which can be integrated with Google Tag Manager. So that is how the Google Tag Manager will get the data. It will not get the data on itself. The other aspect of using GTM is related to speed. So as you can see in a Google Tag Manager, we are handling multiple tags which goes on the page. Okay, there are triggers which we are using, variables which we define. This can certainly slow down the speed of the website. Okay, it consumes a lot of the CPU and that can have a impact on the user experience. So what we can try doing is that we can organize our tags in a much better manner where we can avoid certain tags which are not priority. Maybe we can fire them later as well. That can certainly help in fixing speed related issues. And then at the last point is that at the end of the day, this is a tool which we are going to use out here. It is more dependent on us that how convenient, how comfortable are we with JavaScript or HTML coding. The more effective and we understand JavaScript and HTML coding, we will be able to use the GTM tool in a much more effective manner and an efficient manner. So these are some of the limitations and considerations. The other aspect is the best practices. So one of the best things which you can do while managing multiple tags with Google Tag Manager is removes any unused elements. So if you are having a multiple tags which are being created, which are staying unused. It's the good practice would be that you just remove them, and that can help in reducing it can increase the speed of the website. Okay, any kind of data which you're tracking but not using it often, then that can also be removed maybe. Okay, so that way you are increasing the speed of the website. The other aspect is version control. So as you saw that we will be creating different versions when we are building out multiple tags, triggers, and variables. So when you're publishing the version, a good idea would be that you give a clear description of this version, what this version basically do, what all tags, triggers it has in it. The reason is then in the future, when you have multiple versions, you can easily revert to the one which you want to. Okay. Another aspect of it is that when we are creating these versions, we don't want it to be a case that there are a lot of tags which you create, then triggers which you have created, and then you create variables as well. After doing all that, you create the first version. What we would prefer is a systematic way of creating multiple versions. You can break down the whole process into small steps, and after completing one particular step, a version can be created. So that way, again, reverting becomes much more easier. The other aspect is user management. So when you are working with multiple clients, possibly you will have multiple team members who will be working on those different accounts or containers. So it's a good idea that you give them individual access to their specific containers, to the accounts, rather than sharing your access or your login credentials with your team members. Giving them individual access is a much better way of managing work. And the last is building a plan. So before setting up any particular tags, triggers, or variables for your client or for yourself, we need to make a plan around what will be the tags, what will be the triggers which you will be defining, what will be the variables which you want, what should these tags do. Okay, what is the strategy behind why you are setting up the tags, what will be the data which will come out of it. So we need to list this down on a piece of paper so that we have the complete picture of what is the purpose of building out this particular tag or this particular triggers for a client or for ourselves. Once you have that in place, then working on the live account would be a better way of dealing with it. I hope this makes sense. You understand now what can be some of the best practices or habits which you can build around using Google Tag Manager in a much more efficient manner. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll discuss about the naming conventions, how we can name our Google Tag Manager account, which we are managing. So there are different ways of doing it. So the first is the account name. So the account name, usually what we would like to keep it as the company name. So if it is your own business for which you have set up your Google Tag Manager, so the account name can be your company name. Or if it is for your clients, then it can be the client's company name. Okay, so that way it will be much more better organized. If you're handling multiple clients, then a good idea would be that you create one account for every client and you can manage them separately. And the name can be given, the account name can be the client's name itself, which can be used. So that way it is a much more better way to manage it with multiple accounts. The second is container. So in the container, what we are saying is that as simple as we can keep the container name can be the website or the app name for which we are doing this. So again, depending on if it is your own business, then we are putting our own website or app name, or if it is for clients, then we put their website or app name as the container name. The third is going to be tags. So now when you start building out the tags in the container, the tag can be written in a specific format. So what I usually use it as is, so the first part of it is going to be the platform and the platform feature, which we can define what is the platform for and which feature are we creating it for, and on which page it is going to get implemented. So for an example, as you can see out here, Facebook Pixel. So the platform is Facebook. The feature I'm using is Pixel setup, which I'm doing, and it is going to go on the add to cart page. So this way, the naming of the tag remains very clear. What is the purpose of that particular tag? Same way, let's say it's a Google Analytics account platform, and we are creating an event over there, and which is going to go on the subscribe page. Or let's say a Google Analytics for page view. So this way, the, the naming of the tags can be very clear to understand. Then comes triggers. So when you're coming to triggers specifically, here, what I prefer doing is a case wherein we are looking at what is the particular trigger, okay, which is going to happen and on which page, okay, when it is going to happen. So in this case, so the first part is going to be the action page view, which means people visit the page, they view the page, and this is happening on the thank you page. So that is when the trigger will go, okay, the tag will fire. Okay, so this way it is very clear that what this trigger is meant to do. Similarly, let's say I create a trigger for timer, which needs to go off after 30 seconds. So it will fire after 30 seconds. So this way I can build out another trigger and define it in this manner. So the first part is going to be the particular action which is going to be taken, and the second part can be when it is going to happen. Okay, same way link click can be a trigger, which is people clicking on a link, and when it is going to happen is when a file is getting downloaded. So this way we can define our triggers as well. Other than this, when we come to variables, now variables, I prefer writing it all in lowercase because of the fact that I can differentiate it from triggers and tags as well. Okay, so it becomes very clear to me that I'm looking at a particular variable which we have defined. Here as well, we can keep it very simple, wherein the first part is what is the type of variable which we are defining, and then the details of it. So for example, I'm creating a variable for called div, which has the user ID in it. I can create a variable for URL, which has query parameters in it, or which has an affiliate ID in it. Or I can create a cookie variable, which has referral in it. So this way I can define different variables, which clearly signifies their purpose. And then the last one is folders. As we spoke in the previous videos as well, folders is where you can keep all your tags, triggers, and variables together in different folders so that you can manage them better. So you can create a folder by tag type. Let's say you can have a separate folder for all the tags. So maybe a folder for all the Google tags, maybe a folder which is for the meta tags, okay, across all clients. So that we can do. So you can create folders by tag type. You can create folders by functional groups as well. Functional groups in the sense that what are their functions? Okay, so triggers, all the triggers can be here. Okay, so though they can be clubbed together in a single folder. That way also you can do it. Or else you can do it by team members. You can, if you have multiple team members who are managing different types of tags for different clients, then you can have folders by the team member's name. So you will know that what all tags one particular person is managing. So these are different naming conventions which ideally we can use to organize your work in a much more efficient manner. These are my ways of finding a simpler way to do it for myself. You can also do in the similar manner, or you can find out the way which you find it comfortable doing. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how naming conventions can be used to make our work easier. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll discuss about triggers, understanding the different types of triggers which we can make use of in the Google Tag Manager. So let's have a look at this, guys. So triggers are basically going to be conditions which are used to fire various tags. So any kind of activity which is happening on the website creates various events. So we store these events in these triggers, and this is how you can use these triggers to fire appropriate tags. So this will fire when a particular tag will be fired when these triggers or conditions are met. So let's have a look at this, guys. So once we are inside the Google Tag Manager account, we can go to triggers on the left panel. And this is where you will start creating different types of triggers. So you can go to the new section where you will see various types of triggers available if you click on this trigger configuration. So now you can see these are all the options which Google provides you with. So there are various types of triggers under page view. Then there are clicks-based triggers, user engagement, and there are other triggers as well. Like for example, a page view trigger is the one when a particular this gets triggered when users view a specific page. Or links related triggers, just links is a kind of a trigger where people are clicking on certain links on your website. All elements is going to be a case wherein people are going ahead and looking at different types of elements on the page. Maybe they're opening a particular page, they are clicking on a radio button or a drop down. So various types of elements can be there on the website, which they are doing and which we would like to track as well. So this gets triggered in those scenarios. Similarly, in user engagement, we have something like scroll depth, which is triggered when users are scrolling through your website. So this trigger basically tracks how much percentage of the page did they scroll through vertically or horizontally. Similarly, you have form submission, which is a case when people fill up the form. That is when this particular one gets triggered. You also have other options over here like custom event. Custom event is when we want to add any custom code on the website and trigger that. Then we are making use of this. And then there's a timer trigger as well, which is used when we want to, this gets triggered when the user has spent a significant amount of time on the website, like an elapsed time. So we want to track how much time users are spending on the website. So for those reasons, this particular one is triggered. So these are the different types of triggers which you will also have to create along with your tags. So the tag will consist of the triggers as well. Okay, so when the tags will get fired when these triggers or conditions are met. I hope this makes sense. You understand how triggers work and the different types of triggers available on the platform. In the coming videos, we will see different types of use cases of them as well. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll talk about variables. So variables are another segment of the Google Tag Manager, which work like placeholders for values that are populated when code is run on the website. For example, a tag manager variable named page URL will return the current page URL. Okay, so variables are used in both in tags and in triggers. So in triggers, specifically a variable is used to define filters that specify when a particular tag should fire. So we can have, for example, we can fire a trigger when the URL variable contains some kind of a HTML characters. Similarly, in tags, variables are used to capture dynamic values. This can be a transaction value, it can be a product ID number or a conversion tracking tag. So that is how variables are used out here. There are two types of variables which we can define here in Google Tag Manager. One is your built-in variables and the other one is your custom variables which we can create or user-defined variables. So let's have a look at built-in variables. So built-in variables are pre-created or non-customizable variables which are available here for special categories. These are predefined and created by Google itself, which you can select from. Now, these enabled built-in variables will be made available throughout the tag manager wherever variable selection menus appear. So this in new containers have no user-defined variables at the start, and some built-in variables will be pre-enabled. So you will get these built-in variables already available when you are starting off new with variable creations. So let's have a look at this. So once you are inside the Google Tag Manager, we can go to the variables section here, and this is where you can define it. So you can see the first section is built-in variables, and the second section is user-defined variables. Now, there are various kinds which you will see here. If you click on configure, you will see different types of variables out here. If you want to select any of them, you just need to go ahead and select that particular variable, and it gets added to the list. as you can see now. Okay. In the same manner, if you want to remove any particular one, you can just unselect and that will get removed from the list which is there. So these are the different types of variables which you can define. Pages related variables, page URL, which can throw a particular URL as we saw in the example. Okay, it can be used in such a scenario. The other variables are like we were talking about scroll depth in the previous video. So for scrolling related variables are also available, wherein we have scroll depth threshold, depth units, and direction. So this will throw details like, so scroll depth threshold would be what percentage of the page did they scroll through, 25%, 50%, 70%, 90%. Then the units as well, which we can see, okay, and direction, whether it was horizontal or vertical. So that kind of value it will throw when if we use these variables in the tag. So this is how different types are of built-in variables you will get, guys, which you can make use of while you're building your tags for your business. I hope this makes sense. You understand now built-in variables. In the next video, we will see user-defined variables, how they work, and how we can make use of them as well. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll talk about the user-defined variables. So there can be a lot of scenarios wherein Google Tag Manager provides a list of predefined variables, built-in variables, which are given to us, which we are making use of. But there can be situation wherein they might not be useful and you need to define certain variables yourself. In such a case, you can make use of the user-defined variables option. So on the same platform, you will get different types of user-defined variables, which we can create out here. So let's have a look at this. So once we are inside the Google Tag Manager, we can go to variables section where we can see the second option, which is going to be user-defined variables out here. So we can create a new variable, okay? And again, here different options are available. So you can build it out in this particular manner, wherein you can use it. You can have a particularly, let's say, a custom event or a first-party cookie page variable, which you can create, or an auto event variable can also be built out here. So otherwise, the other option which you also get over here is the community template. So here, some of the custom variables are already pre-built, which you can select from, and you can straight away import it to make use of it in your tags. So that can also be a possibility which you can do. So wherein you can select it from the community template option, which is provided. So these are going to be the different types of user-defined variables, which we can also create on the platform for various reasons. I hope this makes sense. You understand now what are user-defined variables and how they are different from built-in variables. And make sure you're able to use this also going forward in the different tags which you're building. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up the Google Analytics code with the help of the GTM setup, which we have done. So for this, we're going to start off with looking at the GTM account first. So what we are going to do here is we're going to set up the code for Google Analytics. So for this, we're going to start building out a new tag first. So we're going to go to tags and we're going to create a new tag out here. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to select for Google Analytics. Now, as per the instructions given, we will have to use both the Google tag and Google Analytics GA4 event to set up the Google Analytics coding setup for the website. So let's start with that with Google tag first. So here we are going to add the tag ID specifically. So for which we can go to the Analytics account and we go to the data streams to look for the ID. So here specifically, we can see the particular measurement ID, which we can get from here and put it out here. Once you put this, we can also put the trigger. So in this trigger, as we are setting up Google Analytics, we would like to track every single page as a page view. So we can choose that as the trigger over here, and we can save this. So this is done now, and we can do a preview as well of it by connecting our Google Ads in this, and we can see for ourselves it is getting connected, and we can see out here. So now we can check on our website once to see whether it is getting fired as well or not in this particular place. It is going to show up out here. So this is done for us, wherein we have gone ahead and created, and you can see it is firing the Google Ads tag over here. The other piece which we require now is going to be the second part, which is we will have to create a new tag again, wherein we are going to do it for the GA4 event tracking. So this we can first submit. And we can publish. So now we can see there are two tags which are showing up over here, and it is showing us live out here. So now we can go back to tags, and now we'll do the second part, which is going to be the Google Analytics GA4 event. So here we can give the measurement ID, and we can give it a name, let's say in this particular manner. And this is the GA4 tag which we are trying to set up. Okay, we need to add the trigger as well. In this case, the trigger also is going to be all pages, which we are doing. So now this has been set up out here, and we can again see a preview of it, connecting it to our website to test whether the tag is getting fired properly or not. So here we can see the GA4 tag is getting fired. Okay, so which means that it is showing up on the website. So this is good to go, and then we can publish and submit again. So now this has been done, so we can check this out on the website as well to see for ourselves. So we can enable this and we can check it out. Also, when we are coming to this page out here, we can see the same thing inside our analytics as well, whether this is getting tracked or not. So we can go to our analytics reports, and it should reflect over there as users. So you can see it is tracking users now. Okay, so it is showing the one user out here, okay, which is coming through tagassistant.google.com. So this is also tracking over here. So this way we are able to now, we have set up the Google Analytics code on our website with the help of the Google Tag Manager. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we went about it. So in order to set up the analytics code, we require to set up the Google Ads tag first, and then we do the GA4 event, which we have to set up as well. These two will be required to set up the analytics code on the website. I hope this makes sense. You understand the complete process. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can test or debug the Google Tag Manager setup when we are putting in codes on our different websites. So with this we do before publishing the version into the Google Tag Manager system. So it's important for us to do a debugging and testing of the code which we have set up, and we want to just see whether it's firing properly or not. So let's have a look at this. So once you have created your tags, now what we can do is we can go ahead and do a preview of it. So when we do a preview, Google will give you this option where we can provide our website's URL. Okay, if you have given the website URL before also, it will automatically take it, and now it will connect to your website. So now we are going into the testing phase to see whether the tags which we have created are working out properly or not. So the first thing which the tag manager would do is going to give you this pop-up where it will say that tag assistant is connected. So now we can scroll through the page, and when you do so, a new tab has been created. A new tab has been created which will start firing all the tags out here. So let's have a look at this. So what is happening here is based on what activities which you do on the page. So if you go to different tabs, you are filling up a particular form, let's say. So the tags will fill up, will get fired accordingly. Okay, so if I click on, let's say, a particular tab in this particular manner, then we will get to see more particular fires. The tags are going to fire out here. So we get to see what all different types of tags are getting fired in this particular manner. And now if you click on any of these, you will get to see more details about it. Okay, you can see the type of the tag which you have created, the conversion ID which we have used on it. Okay, and the firing triggers are being shown out here. So this way we get to see the data of it as well. And on the left panel, we get to see the different types of firing which happens of the code. Each of these, as you can see, has a different event code which we can see out here. So this way, you will be able to see the debugging which is happening. And then also you have the option where there are other details which you get to see on the page as well. So this is going to be the tabs section where the different tags will fire. Then the variables which you have defined will come up over here specifically in this manner. So URL is this one which we are looking at. Okay, so all those things start showing up out here. Data layer, if you are using any data layer as well, that will get defined out here, and we can see which data layer is being used. So these are all the details which we get to see. Plus on the top now, if you see what all tags have there, the system has found on the page, like there is a Google Tag Manager code which is there. There's a possibly a Google Ads code as well, which is there. This is a Google ad which is there. So all the tags which are there on the website is also showcased out here. So in this manner, we can test first the whole website, tags are functioning properly or not, and then we can push it for publishing. We can push it for publishing, and then it can start working in a live scenario. So these are the details, guys, which we get to see out here. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we are basically going ahead and debugging or testing the tags which we have created in the Google Tag Manager container for our website. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up the Facebook pixel through our GTM account. So once you log into your GTM account, we can start building it out by creating a new tag. So we're going to go to tag configuration. We're going to look for a Facebook tag option out here. Now, unfortunately, Google does not give us an option for a Facebook tag to be selected from here. So in such a case, what we can do is we can go to the Meta Business Suite, okay, where we can look for Events Manager, and we can start from the process from there. So we can come to Events Manager where we can specifically look for data sources, where we can connect to web and give it a name, let's say which will now give us two options. So Facebook gives you two options of setting up the code, which is one is through connecting it with a partner, where you will see multiple platforms. So it will give you Google Tag Manager option as well, which you can select and move forward and start the process. Or you can connect manually as well by selecting Metapixel only. So when we do that, we are brought to this particular page where we get to see the Metapixel code, which we can copy from here. And now we go back to our Google Tag Manager. So in Google Tag Manager, we're going to go to custom HTML, and this is where we're going to paste the code. So now if you look closely to the code has two parts. One part is the script part, which is this one, and the other part is the no script part. So the no script part is useful for pages where there is no JavaScript. So in such a case, this code can be pasted on a no JavaScript page and will fire the pixel for us. Okay, so for now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this off and keep it aside in another document in this manner. And we'll continue with the tag creation. So now we can also give an advanced settings. We can give it a tag firing priority. A tag firing priority means that we are giving high priority to this tag to be fired first than the other tags. So you can give it a higher number. So Google will automatically give more priority to this tag and fire this first when the page loads. And then finally, we have to give the trigger. So the trigger will be all pages, page view, because we want it to trigger when people visit the page. And this is the Facebook page tag, which we have created now, and we can save it. So this is one part of it. The second is now we are going to look at the other part, which is the for no JavaScript pages. So for that, we're going to create another tag, which will be, we will say custom image. And here we are going to give the image URL. So from the code, if you see closely, this is the image URL which Facebook has given us. So this is what we require, and we're going to put it in the image URL section. And for this, specifically speaking, we are going to add a trigger. Now, again, this cannot be all pages, because if it is on all pages again, then every time users are visiting the page, two tags will get fired. This is specifically for those pages which does not have the JavaScript, right? So we have to create a different trigger for this. We can define the trigger as page view again, but with a condition. This is for specific page views. Now here you are going to define the custom variable. Okay, so you have to create a new variable altogether. So we are going to create a new variable, which is for non-JavaScript page, right? So this is going to be a custom JavaScript. And here we are going to add the function. In this particular manner, we can give it a name, let's say custom variable, which we can save. And now it comes over here. So we will say that when this particular custom variable does not equal to true, that is when this trigger should fire. So we can name it as non-JS trigger and save it. And this can be the image tag, which we are talking about, which we can also save out here. So now if you see, we have created 4 different tags. One is for the Facebook tag, which is going to trigger when people visit the page. This is going to be the image tag when there is a no JavaScript. Okay, custom variable also created, which will define which page does not have the JavaScript. And this is the trigger, which will happen when people visit a non-JS page. So this is done. So now we can do a preview of it. In this particular manner. From here, we can do a preview, or else what we can also do is we can now go to our website out here, and we can see the code over here, primarily speaking. So this is how we are going to build out all the tags, and then we are going to go ahead and implement on our website. And this is from where it will get published. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how this is going to work out. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can copy tags and export containers as well on the GTM account. Okay. So let's have a look at this. Once we get into the account, so there can be a lot of scenarios. So let's say you're working with multiple clients and you are setting up GTM code for multiple clients. Okay, so by now you have a fair idea about what all codes, tags, triggers, variables, which needs to be implemented on a particular website. So what you can have is kind of a base file which contains all the important tags, triggers, and variables. Now, this base file can be implemented on all the multiple clients' accounts one by one. So you can build out this like a template base file, and this can be implemented on different websites as in when you get new clients onboarded. So this process makes your work much more simplified. So if you have the base file created, which has all the important tags, triggers, and variables, we can export it first from the existing container, and then we will import it into the new container of the new client which has onboarded. So let's have a look at this. So what we do here is we can go to admin, where we can first export the container. So here you can see you have the option for exporting the container. So you can choose the version, which is the where all the important tags are created. So let's say this is the version, or you can choose the default version as well, wherein you can export it from here. Now, once you export this, now you can go to the container in which you want to paste it. You want to import it. So we can switch the container first. And here we are going to import the same particular base file and attach over here. So this way, now this container will be used. Okay, over here in this particular, this will be the base file. So all the tags which we were using in the previous container has been transferred to this particular container, and we can start using it. So this is one way which can be really useful for all of us. The second option which we have out here is going to be a case wherein you have the tags, and let's say you want to copy the tags from one container to another, or maybe you want to copy the tags and make another copies of the tag in the same container. So those things can also be done out here. So for which we make use of this particular plugin called the GTM copy paste, a Chrome extension which we have, which you can add to your Chrome browser. And now with this, we can make use of it. So what we do here is, first of all, you can just right click on the tag, and you have to authorize the GTM copy paste particular Chrome extension. In my case, I have already gone ahead and approved it. So I can straight away get into adding it to the GTM Chrome extension. So you can see this is the Chrome extension, okay, which shows tags all are 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it to it. So now it will get added over here. So you can see the variable has been added. Same way, I can do it for the tag as well. So the tag is also added over here. Okay. And same way I can do for the trigger. So now all the three are added out here. Now the idea is that you have two options. You can either paste this right here. So you can, the tag and the trigger and the variable will get pasted in the same container. That can be one thing. Or else you can switch. If you want to use it in a different container, you can go to that as well. And over here specifically, you can paste it. So now it will paste all the tags, triggers, and variables which you have copied from one container to the another one. So this can also be a good way wherein you can use multiple tags on across different containers, and then you can make use of it for setting up codes for your clients. I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand this feature as well, which is very operational usage, which can simplify our work as well when we are handling multiple clients and for whom we have to build out multiple tags and set it up for their websites. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up the Google Ads remarketing with the help of Google Tag Manager. So As you understand, remarketing is a concept where we try to follow users when they visit our website and they don't do business with us. So in such a case, we follow these users with our ads. So now you can do so by tracking their data, their IP address or cookies with the help of the code which we paste on the website. So this as well, you can set up with the help of your GTM account. So let's have a look at this, guys. So what we have to do is we are going to create a new code, new tags for this out here. Okay, so for that, we can go to tags and we can start building out a new tag altogether, which is going to be for Google Ads. Now in Google Ads specifically, we are looking for remarketing. So we can choose Google Ads remarketing here. And what we require now is going to be a conversion ID. Okay, so for this, we'll have to go to our Google Ads account and we can get it from there. Once we are inside the Google Ads account, we will have to create a remarketing list first. A remarketing list is going to be the place where we store all the IP addresses, and this is needed in order to set up the code. So we can do it for, let's say, website visitors, and we can give the name of the customers which we want to target out here. And we can create this particular segment. Once this is created, now what we require is the code for which we can go to data sources, where we will find the Google Ads tag. As you can see here, we can go to the details of it. And Google will give you the tag setup instructions, how you can set it up out here. So out of these three, what we want to use is the Google Tag Manager because we want to set it up through that. So we can use the third option. And what you require from here is just the conversion ID. So you can take the conversion ID and we can put it out here. So this way we are setting up the remarketing code. That is all we have to put out here, and we can give this a name and we can save it. In this, we need to add a trigger as well. So the trigger would be that, again, people who viewed that particular page, that will trigger the remarketing code, so that we can add also as page view and we can save it. So this way, we have now set up the remarketing tag as well on our website through our GTM account. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we are setting up remarketing code on websites with the help of your GTM account. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we wanted to discuss different troubleshooting scenarios which you might encounter while you're working with GTM. So let's look at it. So the first one which you can use over here is the Google Tag Assistant. The Chrome extension can help you in testing all these tags. So you can use this particular Chrome extension to test whether any tags are firing or not. So that can really help in troubleshooting issues which you might see. The another problem which you might face with troubleshooting these tags can be that the Google Tag Manager works only when you are using the same browser. Okay, so the debugger tool only opens in the same browser, which is a Chrome specifically browser, which we are looking at. If you're using a different browser like Firefox, then the debugger tool will not open, will not appear. So in that case, it can be an issue for us. And so we have to make sure that all this work which we are doing for ourselves or for our clients are happening on the same Chrome browser. In the same browser, we are trying to investigate and implement. Same thing can happen with private windows as well. So if you are using a private window in the same browser, like a Chrome again, there again, the debugger tool might not work. Okay, so the other reason is we want to stay in the same browser. And that is why in the normal Chrome browser only, we would like to finish and work on all the Google Tag Manager tags. You can also see that the issues can also happen if we have somehow disabled the third-party cookies in the browser settings. So we need to make sure that that is not happening. So for example, when you go to settings and you go to privacy and security, here you can see third-party cookies. We need to make sure that we have not blocked it. Okay, so if you have blocked it, then that can again create troubleshooting issues with Google Tag Manager. The other option which we have here is while we are working on, it can be a scenario that you're managing multiple clients. So obviously with the multiple clients, you have different accounts and you're working on different containers altogether. So we need to make sure that we are working on the correct container. Okay, this you can do by looking at the debugger tool. The debugger tool will show the container ID, the GTM ID over there as well, and making sure that we are on the current container. Okay, this can certainly happen when multiple accounts are we are managing. Also, sometimes it can happen that, like we saw in the previous videos, another way of setting up GTM is that we have used the Chrome extension AdSwerve injector. So if you have used that, make sure we have put in the correct GTM ID. So for example, when we come to GTM AdSwerve Chrome extension, you can go to advanced options, add functionality. So here we need to make sure that we have put in the correct GTM ID for which we are working on the client. Okay, so that way we know that we are working on the correct account. The other aspect of it is, which you can also look at, is if the debugger window is not working, it's not loading properly, then we have the other option is to refresh the complete website. Okay, that way what will happen is it will remove all the cache and we can start from scratch. So this can also help to fix any troubleshooting issues which we are facing. Another thing which can happen is sometimes we can have ad blocker added on the browser, which we need to disable out here while working on GTM. Cookies from different browsers can be there. So in such a case, we need to make sure that we have removed all these ad blockers, okay, to clear any caches and cookies. Also, we need to, if you're working, then we remove any kind of plugins. Sometimes there can be plugins which are using, okay, so it will, in that case, it will not open our GTM in incognito and we will not be able to test. Okay. Also make sure that we are doing all of this in the Chrome browser, because in Firefox, the debugger will not work. And then the last one is that when we are working on troubleshooting these, if all these steps are not helping out, then in that case, we can reach out to the web developer team who can help us fixing in all these issues. I hope this makes sense. You understand these issues or scenarios which you will face while troubleshooting for Google Tag Manager tags. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can use time triggers to set up custom events on Facebook. So for that, we can go on the website and we're going to start building out. So in the Google Tag Manager account, the first thing we're going to do here is to create a trigger first. So we're going to create a timer trigger. So Google gives you that option to create a timer trigger over here, and you can give it a name as well. Let's say we're giving it like this, and the interval is going to be 30 seconds, which means that this trigger will trigger an event after 30 seconds. So we can give that duration in milliseconds, and we can limit it as 1. Then we can give the custom variable where we can give it for the whole website. So we can choose page host name, and which matches with regular expressions. And we can give it as dot star, which means it's the complete website for which we are building. And you can give it a name as well, let's say in this manner, and we can save it. So this is a trigger which we have created. Now for this, we have to create the tag. So for that, we can go to tags and we can start creating a new tag out here. Now, in this case, we need a custom event from Facebook. So for that, we can go back to our events manager account, and here we can get a particular custom event which we would need out here. So we can go to their particular conversion tracking page where there are custom events provided, like this one, standard events. So this is what you require, which we will modify a little. So we'll copy this and we are going to create a custom HTML. We had seen this earlier as well. So in this manner, we are going to put it out. Now we don't require all of this, so we can remove all of this and just mention, let's say, viewed after 30 seconds. So this is all which we have to mention out here. And then we add the trigger which we created, which is timer 30. And this is going to be the tag which we have created now, which we can name as timer after 30 seconds. So this is becoming the tag which we have created now, which will trigger after 30 seconds. So this is the website on which it is going to happen. So we are going to just do a preview. So now it will start connecting, and we just need to wait for some time for 30 seconds, or you can see it is right now getting connected. And now we can see it is not yet fired because of the fact that we just have to wait for 30 seconds. And that is how this trigger will work. So the intent is that when you look at these websites, right? Now this is a one-page website. On a one-page website, when you click on any tab, you stay on the same page. Okay, so in such a case, it is difficult for analytics to understand how much time people are spending on your website, which pages are they clicking on. So in such a case, we create this kind of a tag which is counting the time frame. Okay, so the tags will fire once a user spends a certain amount of time on the page, if it's like a one-page website which we have built out. So for those purposes, this is being created. So here, then you can see now the timer tag has fired over here, which we can see out here, which is coming up for 30 seconds, as you can see. And then afterwards, this one has also fired now, which says timer after 30 seconds, okay, which is fired as well. So in this manner, with the help of this tag, we can understand how much time users spent on a one-page website. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how timer tags can be created on GTM for such purposes. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up a Google Tag Manager code, which is used for tracking the time on site. Okay, so we want to track how much time users spend on the website through Google Analytics. So for that, also we can use the GTM code. So let's have a look at this and how we can define this. So once we are in the Google Tag Manager account, we can start creating a new tag. So the first thing is going to be, we are going to use a Google Analytics GA4 event. Here we can provide the measurement ID, which we can get from the analytics account. So we can come to analytics account and we can take the measurement ID from here and put it out here. We can give a name to this event. We are saying time on site. And then we can give some event parameters. So in event parameters, we can add an event which is going to be time. Okay. And we have to give a value. Okay. So the value has to be a custom variable, which we have to fill up out here. So what we are looking for, ideally, a variable which can be used for calculating the elapsed time, the time, how much time people spend on the site. So for which, ideally, there isn't any predefined ones which we can get out here. So a better option would be that we can search in the community template gallery for something like that. So let's say if you're looking for elapsed time, there is one which we can use out here, which we can use for tracking this particular same thing which we want to do. So we're going to choose this. And what we want is it to convert to seconds. And we can name this and save it. So now this has been defined over here. Now what we need to do is have a trigger. Now the trigger, again, we need to have a trigger for timer, okay, which is going to be tracking the number of minutes, the seconds of it. So we're going to add a trigger like that, which can be a timer based. So like this, and we can give the specific interval is 20 seconds. So let's say it is going to be for 20 seconds. And then we have to also define the custom variable. So which we can contain over here, matches, regex. And this is for all the pages. So we are going to give it as in this manner and give it a name as well and save it. So now if you see, the whole thing has been set up. We have added all the details which are required over here, and we can give it a name. Let's say timer tag like this, and we save it. So this has been created now, which we can preview. And see, we're going to do a debug of it. Okay, it will go to the website and get connected. So right now it is not fired. Okay, so over here, as you can see, timer lapse, the timer tag is all here, not fired right now. So let's just wait for 20 seconds. So on the website specifically, we should be able to see that happening. Okay, once you go to the website, and you can go through different parts of the website possibly. Okay. So now you can see it has fired, and it has gone on the top, and it says tags fired out here. So this way we can create the tag, and when we can submit it, submit the version, and we can use this. I hope this makes sense and you understand how we can make a particular GTM code which will be used for tracking the amount of time user spends on the website. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can make use of the scroll distance tracking. So this is useful in situations wherein, let's say, we are writing some blog or content, and what we want to see is how much percentage of that blog people scroll and read through. So this also we can track with the help of Google Tag Manager. So let's have a look at this, how you can set this up. So for this, we're going to go inside the Google Tag Manager, and we'll start building out the tags for it. So the first thing which we can do is we can build a trigger. So what we are going to create here is a specific kind of a trigger for scrolling. So we will go ahead and look at that. So Google gives us that option, which is called scroll depth. So here I can do two types of scroll depths, which I can create, which can be vertical or horizontal. Let's say we are doing it for vertical. Now in vertical, we can also define percentages of the page which people scroll through. So we can give it a single percentage. Let's say I just want to track how much percentage, 50% of the page is scrolled, how much. So I can do that, or I can give multiple percentages as well. And as in when people do so, it gets tracked. So we can give it in this particular manner. So now it will get tracked in all these 4 intervals. So this is one which we can do. Apart from that, you can set up this trigger for all pages or for some pages specifically. Maybe you have a particular blog section. So in that case, you can define it for that particular page. You can do that as well. And you can give the page URL for that. So let's say your page URL contains blog. So in this manner, you can define it. Or else, if you want to do it for all the pages of the website, you can keep it at all pages. So this is the trigger which we are creating. Apart from this, the trigger, we also would need some variables to track this data when it actually runs. So we can define some scroll variables. So Google gives us some options in that as well. Some scrolling variables are given. So like scroll depth threshold, scroll depth units, and scroll direction. So these 3 are given, so which you can also add so that we can track this as well. So let's have a look at this. So this is the website for which we are doing it. So let's do a preview of this. So now we are on the website, and we can scroll, and we can see whether this is getting tracked or not. So here now you can see the scroll depth is getting tracked. So the first one, let's look at scroll depth, this one. Okay, so if you look at the variables, you will see 25% was covered in this one, vertical. Same way, when you go to the second one, it's 50% vertical. Then the third one, 75% vertical. So it is getting tracked. This is working fine, absolutely, for us. Now, what we need is the tag. The tag for this, which we can also set up similarly. So we're going to create a new tag altogether, which will be a Google Analytics GA4 event. So we can give the measurement ID of our analytics, which we can provide out here, and then give it a name. Let's say I'm giving it a name scroll distance. And what we need here is an event parameter. So we can add a parameter over here, which is scroll, let's say distance once again, and the variable. So the variable can be the scroll depth threshold, which we want to set, and we want to see how much percentage is scrolled. So we can add a percentage so that it picks that value and percentage comes along with it. So you can define this and then choose the trigger which we have created. We created this scroll trigger. So this is now created and we can name it, let's say, scroll tag. So now this is built out and now we can preview this and see the whole thing. So now when we go to the website, we can scroll through it. Let's say till the end, we are doing it. And let's have a look at it. So you can see the scroll tag has fired over here. All the 4 scrolls till the end has fired. So this is the 90% one, which is also fired over here. Okay, this is 75, 25, 50, and 25, which we can see. Okay, tag wise, the scroll tag has fired also successfully, which we can see out here. Okay, which has worked out. Okay, so this is how we can very easily create a scroll tag, which is only going to track how much percentage of the blogs or page or content people are scrolling through and reading. This also shows up on your analytics as well over here specifically. So now you can see the scroll distance, specifically parameters showing up in this part as well on the page once we had done that. So it will reflect in your analytics account as well. I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand now how we can create a scroll distance tracking tag also through Google Tag Manager. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see another scenario of scroll distance tracking. So in the previous video, we saw we could track how much when people scroll through our blogs or pages, we would like to track how much percentage of the blog or the page did they scroll through. Now, this might not be the ideal way of understanding how much they are reading the blog. A better way would be that if I can also track how much time do they spend on the blog page, in addition to that, that will be a clear picture of that. So we'll do that in this particular video and we'll see how we can implement it. So we can go back to the specific tag which we created, the scroll tag which we created in the last video, and we can come to the trigger. And here we're going to add a condition. So the condition can be that I want to have a particular elapsed time defined over here, okay, which is, let's say, greater than 10 seconds. So which basically means is that we want to trigger the tag only once the user has spent minimum 10 seconds on the page. So this will be an ideal way of understanding how much the users are reading the content. Okay, so once you make this addition to the trigger, we can go ahead and test it out. And in that, we should be able to see that. So now once the page is getting loaded, so now when we scroll, so it will trigger all the scroll depth tags, right? So 25%, 50%, 70%, but the particular elapsed time is not triggered till the time we don't spend that 10 seconds on the page. So once you have spent that much of seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever threshold you have set, then only the trigger will fire. So if you see now that it has fired only after the 10 seconds. So you can see it says elapsed time 10 seconds greater than 10, which we had defined out here. So this is how it is going to work out for us, okay, And this way, we are having a better understanding of how much time and how much content did they really read on our pages. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we can track the amount of time spent by users on our blogs while they are scrolling through it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see another situation, which is click tracking. So we can also do a lot of click tracking, which we can do through GTM, which is basically tracking the different types of clicks happening on our website. So when users come to our website, they might click on different tabs or links on our website, and that we would like to track over here. So what we are looking at is a specific situation, which is outbound links. Links which if a user clicks on, they're taken outside our website to some other websites. So this is what we are going to track out here. So let's have a look at this. So for this, what we can do is we can go ahead and start creating a trigger first. So we're going to create a trigger, which is a click trigger. So we are going to do just links. And here we are going to go ahead and do it for specific links which are there. So we are going to define that by creating a new variable. Now the new variable which we can use here is auto event variable, wherein we are looking at the URL specifically, which is the case that the URL is outbound. And here we can give our website URL in this particular manner. And we can save this. And we can say that when this particular variable holds true, then this trigger should work, ideally speaking. So we can say this is outbound trigger, which we have created. Now for this, we are going to create the tag. We are going to create a GA4 event tag. So Google Analytics GA4 event tag, we can give our measurement ID, so which we can take from our account. And we can give it a name, let's say outbound click. And we can give some event parameters. We can add a parameter, let's say URL. And the variable we want to use here is a click URL. And this should trigger when our particularly outbound trigger is added to this as well, which we had created. So this is becoming our outbound click tag. So this is how we can build out this outbound click tag, and then we can use this. How it is going to work is when people are on our website and they click on some link which takes them outside the website, that is when this particular tag will trigger. So here the outbound click tag has been created. Okay, so this will fire when a particular link over here takes them to a different website. So this particular tag, which is right now here, will come in the tags fired section. I hope this makes sense. You understand how an outbound tag can be created, which helps to track how many people are clicking on our outbound link and going outside our website. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can set up the Google Ads conversion tracking with the help of Google Tag Manager. So let's begin, guys. So once we go into the Google Tag Manager, we can start building out the tag by going to the tag section. So we're going to create a new tag over here, which can be a Google Ads conversion tracking. But before we do this, what we also require is a conversion linker, which we will have to create over here. So let's build this out. So conversion linker, you just need to add a trigger, which can be for all pages. So this will help us to build out the conversion tracking in the right manner. So we can name it in this particular manner. Once you create the conversion linker, now we can create the tag. So the Google Ads conversion tracking tag. And here it will require some details like conversion ID, conversion label, which we will have to provide. So for this, we will have to go to our Google Ads account, and from there we can generate it and use it out here. So let's have a look at this. So once you're inside your Google Ads account, you can go to the goals section in summary, where we are going to create a conversion action. So you're going to do this for the website. So we can select that and we can give our website domain, and Google will scan it and then provide the steps to create the conversion action. So we can fill up the details, and once you fill up the details, it will generate the conversion ID, okay, and the label which we can get. So now we are going to fill up a small form which Google gives us. So here we can select the category of or type of conversion which we want to track. So in my case, in our website, we are doing a lead form submission. So from here, I can select submit lead form, and we can give it a name as well in this particular manner. And then we can give it a value. So a lead, if it has a specific value or a revenue attached to it, we can do that, or else we can say don't use a value. And then we can define the count. Count is going to be, it is going to keep a track of all the unique leads which we have collected or generated, so which we can take as one. So these are the details which we are going to fill up on this particular page, and we can move forward. So once you save this, it will give us the instructions to set up the code. So for which we are going to use today is Google Tag Manager. So this is the conversion ID and the label which we require. So we can copy it from here, and we can go back to our website and put it out there, the label as well. So these are the two details which we require, after which we can come to the trigger and we can add that trigger specifically over here, ideally speaking. So for the trigger again, we are going to do a page view trigger. Now, the trigger has to be for a specific page for which we are doing this. So we're going to do it for some particular pages which has a specific keyword in it. So we're going to take page URL. So on the website which we are looking at, for which we are tracking, there is a particular form which is out here. So what we want is, we want to create a trigger when people submit this particular form. So we're going to look at that URL first. So now if you see, this is the page where we need to set up the code. So we can take this URL's particular keyword and use this as a trigger out here. So which basically means that this will trigger only on a page which has thank you written in it. So this will be the thank you page which we are creating. We can name it in that manner and we can save it. So now the conversion tracking is created. The conversion linker is linked. We've provided all the details. The thank you page trigger is also built out. So this is our conversion tracking tag, which we have created now. So now we can preview this and see how it works. It is going to get connected to our website. So we'll go back to our website once. So now when we can see this. So what we see out here is right now the the conversion linker has fired, which we had created. So it's working absolutely fine. But the conversion tracking is not yet fired because we have not yet filled up the form. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the form as a test to just check whether it's firing properly or not. So now we reach the form. So let's have a look at it. So now you can see this particular tag has jumped to the tags fired section, which means that this particular tag is working absolutely fine. So in this manner now, very easily, we are able to set up the Google Ads conversion tracking for our website through the Google Tag Manager. I hope this makes sense. You understand this complete process, how we did it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can implement GA4 event tag with the help of Google Tag Manager. So let's have a look at this. So what we are going to create is a GA4 event tag. So let's go to tags, and this is where we can start the process. So we can go to tag creation. We are going to create a Google Analytics tag. So that's going to be a GA4 event tag. So let's say this is for a particular lead form generation, which we want to create. So the first thing which is required is the measurement ID, which we have to provide here. So this you can get from your Google Analytics account. So we can go to the Analytics account admin section in data streams, and that is where we can get the measurement ID from here. We can copy it from here and put it out here. So now we can see it says Google tag found in this container. So it's absolutely fine. We can give it a name as well. Let's say lead form submit. And then we can also define the trigger for this. When will this be triggered? So we can create a new trigger for this. So it will be a page view. Now we are going to create a page view for a thank you page. So we don't want to trigger this for all the pages on the website. So on the website, specifically, if we see, we have a particular lead form out here. And if we fill this up, it takes us to a thank you page. So this particular part is what we require, and we use it in some pages. So we'll say that the page URL, which contains thank you, for that page only, page view, which we want to create. If a user views this thank you page, then the tag should fire, right? So this is a thank you page trigger, which we are creating. So we can save this. So now the trigger is also created. Okay, so we have created the tag as well. So this is a GA4 tag which we are creating, and we can save this. So now the tag is created. So this we can preview. So once we preview, we can go through the page and we'll see how it is working out. Okay, so this is the website which is now being created. So it's connected right now. So you can see right now the lead gen tag, the GA4 tag is right here. It is not firing at all. Okay, because we have not yet filled up the form. So once we now come to the form and fill it up, it should fire, because now we will be viewing the thank you page. So we've reached the thank you page. So now this will ideally get fired. We can refresh the page once to see that happening. So now you can see the GA4, the tag is fired. So we can see this as well. It has taken the event name as well, lead form submit. This is what we had done. Okay, this was the measurement ID which we had added. Okay, now if you can also verify this by going to analytics as well. We can go to the real-time data. It should ideally show up over there as well. So we can see user data out here, a real-time report. Let's see. So it shows one active user out here. You can see the thank you page is getting fired. It got a view over here. Event also out here is showing up. Lead form submit got a one over here. So this way we can clearly verify that our GA4 event has been created now with the help of our Google Tag Manager. I hope this makes sense. You understand now the complete process, how we are doing this. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we wanted to see a particular situation which we can improve out here. You must have seen in the previous videos, whenever we are creating a GA4 specific event, in that we require the measurement ID, which we need to take from the analytics account, and then we come to our Google Tag Manager and we put it in the tags. This process can be made in a different manner, where we can store the measurement ID in one of the user-defined variables, which we can create here. So this way, you will not have to go to Google Analytics and get the measurement ID from there. So let's see, guys, how simply we can use the user-defined variables out here. So once we are inside the Google Tag Manager, we are going to create a variable, which is a user-defined variable. And in this, we are going to choose a specific one, which is constant, because this is going to not change. So here we can put the measurement ID. So let's go to your analytics and we can copy our measurement ID and put the value out here. And we can save this as, let's say, we can say it as GA4 ID. So now this is a user-defined variable which we have created here. So going forward, whenever we are creating a GA4 event or any other tags related to GA4, we can use this right here and we can create those tags. There will not be any requirement for us to go to our analytics account and get the measurement ID from there. I hope this makes sense. You understand this simple process which can be done to simplify our work. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi, guys. Welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can track any type of clicks which is happening on the website with the help of Google Tag Manager and sending that data to GA4. So let's have a look at this, how we can set this up. So for this, we are going to create first a trigger, which will be a click-based trigger. So we can go to the triggers section where we are going to start creating this. So we're going to create a click-based trigger, which can be all elements. All elements is the one which tracks every kind of click which is happening on our website. So we can create this one and we can name this, let's say, click trigger. And for this, we will need to also have a tag which it will fire, which can send the data to GA4. So now we are going to create a tag, a GA4 event tag. And we need to provide the measurement ID. So here now you can make use of the variable which we had created in the previous videos. So rather than going to the analytics account, you can just make use of the variable. So if you remember in the previous videos, we had created a variable called GA4 ID constant, which we can now use out here specifically. And then we can give it a name. And in this, we are going to attach the click trigger in this particular manner. And this is going to be the clicks specific tag which we are creating, which is going to go to GA4. And we can save this. So now this is created with the particular trigger which we have created. So we can do a preview of this. And we can see how it is going to work. So now it is being created. So it has not fired yet. We can just scroll through it. And now if you click on certain pages, like I'm clicking on this or the skills part, or let's say somewhere empty part as well, now it has triggered. So you can see this has triggered for us. And this is the event which we had named, we had given the measurement ID, which I can see out here. So now this data is getting triggered, and this will also now show up on the page as well on our analytics account. So where the data will be transferred to. So we will be able to see it out here as well. Specifically, we can see all clicks is coming up here as well, which we had created as an event. So now the data is moving to analytics. So in this simple manner, guys, we are able to create a click-based tag as well through Google Tag Manager, which is going to track all kind of clicks happening on our website. I hope this makes sense. You understand the whole process, how we went about creating it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can add certain details about clicks and send them to GA4 events. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to add some variables so that we can get to see their values when we are triggering those particular tags. And this can be sent to GA4 as well as events in which we can see the information. So let's have a look at this. So once we are inside the Google Tag Manager, what we want to do first is add certain variables for which we want to see the values. So we can add the variables, we can configure from here. So let's say we want to look at the clicks variables. So these are all the variables related to clicks which we can add here. So now they are all added in this particular manner. And now these ones, so we're going to use them in our trigger, which we have created earlier. So this was the tag which we had created, so in which we can use them. So over here, we had created the particular measurement ID and event name. What we are going to do is we are going to add the event parameters, and we are going to add 6 of these, the 6 clicks related variables we had seen. So now we can add them one by one over here. So these values will then fire as well. As you can see, we had filled this up, and now we can give it a name as well. So we can name in the same manner. And this will show up in our, specifically in our GA4 also. So now we have added this, and we can save this information. So now that we have done this, if you do a preview of this to see how it is going to look like, let's have a look at that also. So now when we see this, so we have the clicks one over here. So let's click on certain sections of the website in this particular manner. So now it is firing. So now you can see the parameters are getting fired also. Over here, all of these are showing up. In the click section, if we see, the variables will be here. So now we can see the variables. Okay, so the click element is this one. Okay, the click ID, which is used, the click text, contact. Okay, the URL, there was no particular URL, so it does not show anything. So this way, the data is showing up now. So the variables are defined, and for their data, we can see. Now the same thing will also reflect in our GA4. So if we go to our GA4 real-time data, and we see this information. So now you can see the all events section over here. If you go on all clicks, you can see all the particular event parameters which we created right now. You can see click classes, click ID, which we created, click element, text. All these are now showing up out here. So yes, so after this, all the details which we added in the GTM is now passed on to GA4 in this particular manner, and we can see the information. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how you can add variables which can then pass the data to GA4 through our Google Tag Manager. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can track clicks on certain buttons on the website. Every website will have certain buttons. And if we want to track the clicks happening on them, we can do that as well through Google Tag Manager. So let's have a look at this. So for this, we can go into the account and we can start looking at the triggers first. So we're going to create a trigger, which will be a click trigger. So we can create a new trigger from here, which is a click, and we can use all elements. But now what is going to happen is this is not for all clicks, but for certain type of clicks which are happening specifically talking about buttons. So from here, we can choose a variable which would be relevant for us. So these are all going to be the built-in variables which Google gives you. If you can choose from here, or you can choose any other built-in variable you want to, or you can create a new variable. So let's say we are choosing click classes over here, and now we have to provide the particular variable out here. So you can go to your website and you can look at the coding of your website specifically to see what kind of variable is used on it. So you can do a view page source or inspect element. And what we are going to look at is the specifically. So if you look at here on the button specifically, but what we are using here specifically is a button element, which shows over here. As you can see, button underscore label or button element used here. So we can use button as the value which we want to use. And then you can give it a name in this way. And for this now, we are going to create a tag. So we are going to use the same tag which we had used in the previous video. So what we can also do is, so we just want the exact same thing. So we can make a copy of this rather. And now we can say button clicks. And in this, we will make the changes. This is the copy. So what we require, the event name can be button clicks. And for this, we are going to go ahead and remove this trigger specifically, which is being used. This is not the right one. What we want to use is the button click trigger, which we created. And now you can go ahead and save this. So this will work for us. So we have created this particular tag now, which should fire. So let's have a look at this. So this is connected. So I'm just scrolling through the website now. What we will see here is that the button clicks is not fired because we have not clicked on the button yet. Okay, so let's do that. So when we click on the button, now it has triggered out here, as you can see. And if we see inside, we can see all the parameters as well showing up. Also, if you notice, if I go ahead and click on anywhere else, I'm just clicking on anywhere else. What is happening is we are getting the clicks over here. But if you see, that is not triggering the button clicks. That is just the clicks part, which we had done earlier, that is getting triggered. So this means that this particular setup is working absolutely fine. It is only going to trigger when we click on the actual button on the website. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how you can track clicks on your buttons on the website as well. And we can pass this data to GA4 as well. So now if you go to GA4 and like to see this information, we can see it in events particularly. So here you can see button clicks coming up over here. And you can see the data as well. Okay, click classes is coming up over here. And this is the URL which we were seeing, okay, which is showing up in this particular manner. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we can track clicks on buttons as well on our websites through Google Tag Manager. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we wanted to see a different approach, which is we can create a specific tag page trigger for the same situation, which is where we are setting up, let's say, a GA4 event, okay, through Google Tag Manager. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a specific trigger first, and we can link it to the tag, which will do the same job, which we were seeing in the previous video. So let's have a look at this. So once you're inside the Google Tag Manager, the first thing which we're going to do here is create the trigger. So we're going to create the trigger, which is going to be, let's say, the same thank you page trigger, which we are creating. So we can create a page view, which is for a specific page. Okay. And here we can select a predefined option, which is page path contains And then we can give the same specific keyword, which is there in our thank you page URL. And we can create this particular trigger. So this can be a thank you page, okay, specific trigger, which we are creating. And now this trigger can be used in the tags which we have created. So we can go to the tags, okay, and we can choose the tag specifically. And we can attach that particular trigger out here, as you can see. And use this now to trigger and see if their leads are getting generated, tracked on Google Analytics. Okay, so this is another approach which we can do, wherein we can do this and create the different types of tags for specific pages for which we were creating it, and then linking it to the tags so that we can track our details. I hope this makes sense. You understand the different approach, how we can set up our Google Tag Manager codes. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can capture JavaScript errors through GTM and send them to GA4. A lot of times our website is built on JavaScript and there can be a lot of errors which might happen, and because of which it creates a bad user experience for our users. So in such a case, it makes sense to keep a track of these errors and then fix them through our web developer. So in such a case, we can make use of the GTM as well to capture these errors, and then we can share it with Google Analytics, and then these can be fixed by our web developers. So let's have a look at this, guys, how we can set it up. So once we are in the Google Tag Manager, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to add certain variables related to these errors. So we can go to the variables section and we can add these variables first related to errors. So you can see under errors, there are certain variables like error message. This will show us the description of the error which has happened. Error URL will show on which page URL the error is coming. And then the line as well, error line will show which line of code has an error. So these three we can add over here. And now we can create a trigger based on this. So we're going to create a new trigger, which is going to be a JavaScript error. And we can keep it as for all JavaScript errors which we want to track over here. So we can name it as JS error trigger. And now this we will use in the tag. So let's create a new tag, which is going to be a Google Analytics event tag. And we're going to add the measurement ID. So we can make use of our GA4 ID, which we had done earlier. And we can give this a name, let's say JS error. And now here we will have to add some event parameters, the values for it. So the variables which we created, right? For those three, we are going to use this. So we can name it in that particular manner, which can be error message, error URL, and error line. All we need to do is provide the values based on the variables which we created. So error message, error URL, and error line. This we have provided. Now we just need to add the trigger, JS trigger, which we created. So now our tag is ready. And name this as JS error tag. So this tag will fire when it identifies any errors, JavaScript errors on the website. Now we can't do a preview of this, but this will show up eventually once there are any errors in the JavaScript code on our website. It will fire the tag and that will show up in our analytics. So in analytics, when you go, we can go to the real-time section where we go to events. Over here, you will see the event which we created, which is JS error message, which we created over here, right? This particular event name will appear, JS error will appear, okay, in our analytics out here. And we will be able to see all the errors which are coming in, which can be shared with our web developer and they can look into fixing it. So this way, guys, we can make use of the Google Tag Manager as again to find out any JavaScript errors happening on our website. I hope this makes sense. You understand this complete process, how to set it up on the account. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we wanted to see how we can track if users are seeing a particular section of our website or image or banner or not. Okay, this also you can do through GTM, where we can set up a particular tag which can do this task for us. So let's have a look at this. So usually what happens is people might scroll through your website but might not go to particular sections, important sections which you want them to visit. So in such a case, we can build out a certain tag for that. So for this, the first thing which we need to have is certain variables related to visibility, which we will have to add here. So we can go to the variable section configure, and we can go to %visible. These two we will add over here. And then we can come to triggers. We are going to create a new trigger for this. So which is going to be element visibility, which we can set here. And we can give the selection method ID. So we have to provide this ID, which we can get from the code from the website itself. So let's say on my website, I want to see this particular section people are visiting or not, okay, because I want them to contact me. So in such a case, I can look at the inspect element and see particularly this section primarily and look at the ID which we can use out here. So if you see specifically, this is the section which is getting highlighted, this particular part in which we can get the ID from here and put it in the section out here. Now this is going to fire once per page. So once a person comes here and spends a certain amount of time, we can go ahead and fire the tag for that. In the advanced settings, you can go ahead and give the settings as well, how much time you want the person to spend on that particular section. So let's say I'm saying 10 seconds. So we can give 10,000 milliseconds out here. And we can create this visibility trigger. Once the trigger is in place, now what we have to do is create a tag where we can create the tag, which is going to be a GA4 event tag. And we can add the measurement ID, the measurement ID, GA4 ID. We can give it a name also like that. Let's say visibility. And we can add some event parameters, two of these parameters, which we had used. So we can use the ones which we selected, the variables on screen duration. And %visible. These are the two which we had seen specifically. And then we can name the event also in that particular manner. %visible. And then we can add that trigger, which we created out here. So now this is ready. Okay, so we can see how this is going to work for us. We can name it in this manner, visibility tag, and save it. So now that the tag is created, we can preview this on the page and see how it works. We can connect the website. And now we can scroll through the website and come to that section. So once we are on this section, let's have a look at it. So right now, if you see, the visibility tag has not fired. Okay, that is happening because the 10 seconds, it needs to be there on the page, right? So we need to be on this page for 10 seconds and then it will fire and it will show up in the fired section. Once that happens, then we understand that this particular tag is working properly and it gets all the values which we get to see out there. So now you can see the visibility tag is in the tags fired section. Okay, and if we go there, we can see the particular parameters which we had assigned. %visible, on screen duration is also coming up out here. This now we can check on our analytics account as well, whether it's working properly or not. So we can refresh and we can see real-time data on analytics. So we can go to the event section and see that over there. So let's go to real time. And in the real time, we can see visibility. This is what we had created as an event. If we go in this, now we can see the different types of events over here. Okay, percent visible is coming here. On-screen duration is also coming here. So which is also firing properly, and we can see it in GFO. So this is how we can set up the tag, which will help us to track whether people are watching and spending time on a particular important section of our websites. I hope this makes sense. You understand now how we can build out this tag in our GTM account. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll talk about the data layer concept in Google Tag Manager. So data layer are like a JavaScript object that sits on our pages. So it is a part of your HTML code of your website, which sometimes we require. It contains all the data or information which you want to pass from your website to other applications or tools. So this is useful in different scenarios. So let's have a look at a scenario. So usually what happens is like you have a website wherein you have listed down your product. So it has got various types of information like name of the product, price of the product, image is there, color, size, all this there, right? Now, when you set up a GTM tag or any other tag, let's say an Adobe tag or any other tags, so the GTM pulls data from these particular information which is there on the page. Now, what happens is in cases sometimes when you move the information to other parts of the page, let's say I move the size information to another part of the page, then GTM will not be able to pull that particular information. So in such a scenario, we introduce a data layer. A data layer sits behind the website page, something like this. Okay, so we define a data layer, which is like an object which sits behind the page. And now we connect all the tags, GTM or Adobe or other tags to the data layer here, where we have gone ahead and defined all the information clearly. So here, the name of the product, name of the price, product price of the product, color, size is defined clearly. So now, even if you make changes to your front end page, let's say you move the color to other section or images to other parts of the page or size to other parts of the page, the information in the data layer remains intact. So the tag managers, can easily pull the data from the data layer itself and they can do the tracking. So this way, it really helps to go ahead and you can keep making changes to your pages while it does not affect any of your tags which you have set up through different tag managers. Let's see some examples of how this will look like. So the data layer structure is going to be something like this, wherein we introduce a script and we need to write in this particular syntax, which is data with in lower cases and layer in upper cases. Has to be, this is case sensitive, so we need to write in this particular manner. And then we introduce the key value, the values which we need to define out here. And we can close the script. This is the structure of the data layer, which we have to write in our HTML code. So let's see this example. This is a simple example where we have written in that format. So data layer is defined. We can see the product over here, which is defined as the product, price, color, and size. So this can be a simple example of how a data layer will be defined on a website. The other option, kind of complex one, can be in this manner, where this can be for e-commerce websites where we have multiple products and for which we are defining all this information like name, price, color, and size. So this is how data layers can be written and used on different HTML codes of different businesses. Every business is going to be different, so they will be writing their data layers in a different manner. Let's see practically as well how this will look like on a website. So on the website, if you have to look at data layer, you can go to inspect element. And here we can go to console. We can go to the console and we can search for data layer. So when we go into the data layer part, this is where you can see the data layer out here. These are the objects which we are talking about, which is numbered in this manner 0, 1, 2. Okay. Now, if you click on any of each of these individual objects, they will further, you can see the information out here. Like here, we can see the particular information given out here for this object. Then number one, this is another object for which the information is given here. This is how you can easily find out a data layer by going to the inspect element where we can search in console. I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand the concept of data layer and what is the use case of it, how it makes things easier for us when we're setting up GTM tags. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this session, and I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can make use of the data layer in our GTM account. So once we log into our account, we first need to create a variable. So let's go to variables section. And here we are going to define a user defined variable. So we are going to do that by going to the configure and go to new. So this will be a data layer variable, which we want to do. Now here we will have to define the data layer variable name, which we have to provide. So for which we can go to our website and look at the variables first. So we can do a inspect element. Like we saw in the previous video, we'll go to console and go to data layer. In this particular manner, we can see the array, okay, over here. And we will find all the information in this particular manner. These are different objects which we get to see out here. So let's say we are looking at a particular object. This one, okay, let's say the third object in which we need to create a variable. So we have to take the exact name over here. So like we are taking this one as the name. And we can give it a name like that. And we can save it. So that is the one. So first information. Same way, we need another one. So we can create another one out here. Let's say the second one, scroll threshold. And we give it a name. DL is for data layer. And we can save it. So now you can see we have created two data layer variables out here, which we would like to use in our Google Tag Manager. So now we can do a preview of this to see how this will work out. So when we do a preview, okay, so we can add our website. So now this is fully loaded. As we can see here. And if we go to window loaded in data layer section, we will be able to see this information. Hi guys, welcome to this session. In this session, we'll see how we can make use of a custom HTML tag on a GTM account. A lot of times it happens that we might have to implement a specific code on the website or a JavaScript code on the website. In such a case, we can make use of the custom HTML tag out here. So let's have a look at this. So once we are inside the Google Tag Manager account, we can go to the tag section where we are going to create a new tag altogether. Now this tag is going to be a custom HTML. So this is where you can add your code, which can be an HTML code or a JavaScript code in this particular manner. And now you can apply this on all the pages. And we can name this as custom HTML. Once you do this, you can preview the website to have a look at it. So the code will now fire on the website and we should be able to see the information out there. So in this manner, you can, on the website, you can be able to see the information out here. So this is one way where you can apply a custom HTML. The other option, so if you see now in the backend, the code has fired over here and we can see the HTML out here showing up. So this means it is implemented on our page. The other option is, in the same manner, you can go ahead and add a JavaScript code. You can add in the same place, you can add a JavaScript code from a third-party tool and implement that on your website. So this way, we can add some custom codes on our website for various reasons, which might be needed for the business. I hope this makes sense. I hope you understand how custom HTML codes can be implemented with the help of Google Tag Manager. Thank you so much, guys, for listening into this, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you once again, guys, for taking this course. I hope this was useful, and let me know if you need any other help from my side. You can write down in the comment section as well for any queries you need, any answers you require, or any support from my end. Thank you so much, guys, and have a great time learning.